Oh dear, I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
Don't you understand, Steven? Somebody has to kill the babysitter.
I'm too old for this shit.
Mockery. Oh, Master! I do not trust you! I cannot trust you or anyone ever!
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to...
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Desperate. Your turn.
Desperate.
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 I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith here on the channel The Fractured Filter, and we are live tonight, not only on the YouTubes, but we are also live on Odyssey, and we are live on Rumble as well. I've been making sure we are up, we're going. Awesome, fantastic, brilliant. Really excited to finally have that going now. So we're across the board in different places, and I'm one of your hosts, Fractured Filter himself, one and only, along with my co-host, my partner in crime in all this, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
We need intro music, like old Stone Cold and like the Undertaker. Well, instead of copyright infringement, maybe I'll just break a glass bottle before I start talking. No,
I'm one over my head.
I'm super. Well, that's what I want to do. I'm super excited about tonight because I feel like there's a lot to talk about, and there's some topics that I'm just really. I think we're all irritated, and maybe not irritated, but definitely passionate about. So I feel like, just PSA, if you are easily offended, do not watch this show.
That's kind of a given for, yeah.
It's a given, but hey, do our due diligence and tell you, if you are easily offended or get your feelings hurt, don't watch the show tonight, because I have a lot I want to discuss. And probably going to get banned on multiple accounts on Twitter, and I just don't really care. anymore. But other than that, just great night so far. OBS pissing me off. Pissing me off. One of these days, like I'm getting better. When we started, 54 shows ago, I could barely open my email. Fractured would send me email or whatever on Discord. I could barely open Discord. And now I can actually open Discord and share my screen and do all that. So it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn, but I tried to do the thing that you sent me with the little head bob, like Tuscan Bob. I was trying to do that. Tried to do it last night, and couldn't. I spent literally probably like an hour and a half rewinding this video about 32 times. I only got like a minute and a half into the video, and I rewound this thing like 32 times trying to figure out where. I think this guy, I don't know, like we were talking before the show, the guy was using like Windows 10 and I'm on 11, and I've heard a lot of people don't like Windows 11, but they love Windows 10, so whatever. But yeah, I couldn't figure it out. Had to have Fractured walk me through it, and I felt like an idiot because I was staring at the C drive multiple times last night. I was like, what is this thing? Like, I don't know what this is, but I want to click it because I don't want to mess up my computer.
Yeah, it's a bit of a it took me like a bit of a moment to kind of really understand what I needed to do for it, but then like once I was like, oh, I've got this I got this set and stuff like that, it kind of came together. So
yeah,
but I understand it's kind of goofy for sure.
Well, I promise I'll figure it out. It'd be really cool though with my current avatar if his respirator could. I'm really excited when I get this figured out. I think it's gonna be a really cool avatar, but I don't know if there's a way to do this avatar with his like respirator could like come at you, hit you in the face. But
that's actually what I did was I photoshopped that image that I sent you, and I gave you the cutout head in case you wanted to use that, and then I also gave you the cutout respirator.
I want the respirator,
so you could use that separately.
Because that's kind of what I want to do to people when I talk to Disney fans. I wish I had my respirator would just hit you in your face.
Yeah, so that's what'll be popping when you that can be what you can have popping when you're talking. Yeah, and yeah, there's
you don't have
a few topics
Well, I'm just looking at you don't have a name, a headline. I'm kind of disappointed.
I can't think of anything.
So, well, I came up. I think
I know you've been very on it. I have not been. What can I say? I'm bad at that.
Somebody's gonna read my headline and be like, "Oh, you shyster." But I think,
I don't know. Rampart's life matters.
So I don't know how we want to do it. Like once again, the seals are clapping over these 2 episodes. And one guy had the audacity to, well, what did he say? One of the guys I don't follow him, but he had posted. He's like, I wish all the seasons were as good as these 2 were, or I wish all the episodes were as good as this.
It took 7 episodes to finally get something going.
But you had to take 2 episodes just to tie them together to
If that, I mean, Jesus.
I don't know about you, but I almost slipped out of consciousness watching these 2.
I didn't necessarily have that problem. I just I just kind of got through it.
Trying to be funny because one of the guys' name was Slip, and I wanted to. Here's the thing. The thing. I don't know how we want to do tonight. I'm up for anything. There obviously topics we want to go over, but was really just the dynamic of these 2 episodes. It's like you had to once again bring in characters from the Clone Wars. And I know that some characters obviously will still be part of the story, Bail, all this and that, but you decide to take the daughter of the son who George played in Revenge of the Sith, the guy Panda, well, I forget his name, but from Pantora. From what the character that George Lucas played on Revenge of the Sith. He played the guy from Pantora when he's going into the ballroom, but the theater to meet Palpatine. That character's thing right there.
I don't know.
That's the one George Lucas played, and that's the same guy that his daughter was the Senator Choo-Choo's daughter.
Right.
So it's just funny that you bring in characters.
No, it's again the member berries, trying to bring in things.
And then Bale, out of 7 episodes, we finally see Bale.
Well, I mean, at least somebody's acknowledging that Bail Organa exists and didn't make him out to be a complete dipshit, but but then at the same time, like, even though that they included him, he almost felt out of place at the same time.
He didn't feel like Bale, the Bale of the canon.
Well, it just because of what they've set up, it just didn't seem like he would be the one acting like this in the shadows. And even for some of it, I felt like he was putting himself a little too much in the spotlight too, with the way he was helping with this matter and kind of stepping
really
in at times.
Help, and he was like, "Well, good on you, Chi-Chi. Do it yourself, and I'll be here if you need any help. But I'm not really going to help you because I can't. I don't know. I didn't feel like I don't know. I didn't feel this dog's about to get got here in a minute, dude.
I was hearing the barking in the background.
My neighbor's dog about to say, "Shut up." I don't know. It's it's just a hard episode for me because I do love. I find a beauty of the rotunda and just again, like, I agree with, like, Star Wars Theory was saying, like, he loves Star Wars politics. I do as well. I love the whole dynamic of it because it's very, when you watch Star Wars and you see the politics within Star Wars, you can see it's just the brilliance of it. The credit goes to George, right? But that you can see similarities and parallels between Star Wars politics and maybe, like, I don't know, our own politics within the world. And it's just, it's an interesting thing. And
well, the thing is, though, is like OG Star Wars she's gone on about is that it's meant to be its own world politics. It's not meant to always. It's not really meant to reflect ours necessarily.
No, but
it's meant to be its own thing, and that's where sometimes these people also get their wires a little crossed differently.
For sure.
So,
but. Yeah, so the whole Chi-Chi thing and it's just, and boy, howdy, they definitely went there. Like, I didn't think they were gonna throw old Rampart under the bus like they did.
I was a little surprised by that myself.
Part of it, like, I'm like, man, like, are they really, like, are they doing this? And then, it's like, so episode, was it 7 was all based off, Slip and was it Cade? I don't know the whatever, but or was that the second one? What the first one? Yeah, it was the clone theory. The clone
conspiracy. Yeah. So that was the way that one was starting out, was that it was dealing with some of the clones that were getting disgruntled, especially about the fact that
they blew up
the whole thing with Camino, and then on top of it, the way this new galactic empire was basically starting to decommission them. They were starting to get neglected, ignored. They weren't being, they didn't have pensions or compensation or whatever. So it was a very tough situation for them. And one of them was, starting to leak information. And that was kind of the beginning of it, especially then once that particular clone basically gets assassinated to keep him quiet. And that's kind of first how things get going. I know for sure, like, at the beginning of the episode, I'm like, what? No Sheev? But yeah, then they definitely did do a kind of, like, I hate to say a bait and switch, but that's kind of, I guess, what it was. Where we first think that Assassin is, or where I know I drew the thought of, and so did Rhino. He was thinking, oh, the Assassin's Crosshair. It's got to be, right.
Yeah.
Especially since working closely with Rampart. That was not the issue, not the fact of the matter is a completely, like, unregistered clone or something like that. like you said, the SEALs were clapping because then we also got Rex who shows up to save Chuchi because she's getting herself into all kinds of trouble. And I was kind of laughing too because like the way she was trying to get the help or at least the backing or at least the encouragement for these troopers, and a lot of them the way they're like, we don't want to be decommissioned, we want to keep fighting, we want to go after these little splinter cells that are now starting to show up. So you even have the clones that are still seeming to show loyalty towards the Empire. And I kind of laughed at that. I was like, one of my notes was you can't take Mandalorian out of the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
What they were originally. So I was like, okay, that's kind of an interesting little touch there. But
this whole it's almost like, so to your point, it's like Star Wars politics should, we're not meant to be, like politics like we would normally experience, but that's exactly what this episode was. It was like, it's like the conservative or it's like the Democrats or liberals trying to pass, they
don't really have that in the universe, so to speak.
No, but it's like we got to pass this bill to decommission the
clones and stuff like that, and to fund more a certain military operation, and Bale is probably like staying consistent with his own philosophy and stuff like that. So,
but I love the fact that like Mass Media was like, and if you told me that you were going to be able to get this passed, and Tarkin that you're going to get this passed, and it needs to be passed, and if it doesn't, like you're basically type. Not so.
You're going to become worm food.
I mean, yeah, bantha fodder. So I don't know, and then like the whole, and I love. I mean, this is it's like classic spy movie 101. You get caught, and then you take a cyanide electricity pill at the end of the episode.
Yeah, he dedicated to that. He just up and out freaking.
And it's what's so funny?
Click that thing fast too.
It's so funny because it's like you capture like, man, who is he? Like, who is this guy? And it's you look like every other clone, so it's like, I don't know. I thought it was Crosshair, but then again,
I did too. And hey, I'll say they kind of got that one over on me because it's like, okay, so how else is Crosshair going to be used within?
This was so frustrating. So now we're on episode 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 4 episodes left, right? And how
16? It goes to episode. It goes to 16.
Okay, yeah. So I thought 12. Okay, well, so another 8 episodes, and if it took 7 episodes to actually get something going, and I will say, I mean, these 2 episodes were easier to digest than I think the other ones, right? And I think that is because of like, in my opinion, like the rotunda and the nostalgia berries. Like whenever there's nostalgia, because when I watch something, like I'm not necessarily like interested in what I'm watching, but it takes me back to like the prequels and everything. And I don't know, I'm weird, but like then I start watching Revenge of the Sith while this thing's playing, and I just end up watching Revenge of the Sith and not paying attention to what's going on here. But it took 7 episodes to get something going.
Yeah.
But even with these 2 episodes, like how does it really advance the story other than like we all knew like stormtroopers were going to be like, and then he's like, heralded by the Imperial Stormtrooper, and like, I mean, why couldn't the clones just have why couldn't like, Palpatine just have his, because we all know why he wanted the Imperial Stormtrooper. He wanted a more intimidating army.
More intimidating army and like
everything. So why not just have, instead of doing this pointless debate in the Senate, why not just like get your stormtroopers, have a massive battle between the clones and the stormtroopers?
Well, okay, so this is the kind of the funny thing. You know how it's like we've been complaining with the other series of how they've been basically making the Empire look dumb as all get out. This was finally something where they presented Sheev Palpatine as that master manipulator, and he played his part perfectly and manipulated things, and it's showing that how It's like you don't like saying it, but it's like Filoni, he has his love for his what, and I liked how Tim put this on open air for open air, like on the spacing. It's the way Filoni thinks Star Wars should be. Whether a lot of us disagree with his vision of Star Wars, but he does have something of an idea of how it's to play out, and at least with this instance, he showed that he's still giving respect to a legacy character like Palpatine and keeping him in character, and also showing, like what I've talked about, is how he has to play the game smart still, even though he's Emperor. He still has to play the game smart. So he basically allowed all the pawns to keep playing chess through this whole bit to make it all feel like the system is still working the way it should, or whatever. But he comes in and is like, he just kind of. He played it all up and is like, yeah, that's great and all, but we've now gotten our evidence that we needed, basically, to say the clones need to be decommissioned. Instead of, because it's like they don't have the robot, they aren't using robots, right? So, and these clones have basically demonstrated that they're maybe overly loyal. They don't question anything. They're just taking orders, and that's what Rampart used them or manipulated them, whatever, to do just that. So we got to get rid of them and actually bring in, quote unquote, real people and people of the galaxy to help defend this new brave empire. So that was, I can at least say, was a good thing that was done with this episode, with episode 8.
Yeah.
Even though I hate doing it, but it's like, hey, but again, and it's kind of funny because, like, even episode 7, I kind of liked a little bit more because I don't know, I partly enjoyed a little bit of the intrigue and stuff that was going on, and for once we didn't have Pringle Brains and the rest of the babysitters in space bumbling around, messing up missions thanks to Omega and everything like that. It was just kind of more focused on some other characters, some familiar faces and everything, as seal clappy as that it probably is, but it gave it a little bit something different. And then we got the Bad Batch returning in episode 8 to basically, come in and do their part. As stupid as a lot of that was, especially when,
like, stealing the black box from his Venerator, like,
well, the whole lead up to them going in and doing that is just it's again also ridiculous because they're supposed to be trying to hide themselves, right? They're trying to hide that they're still alive. Meanwhile, here they are running about this ship, stunning everyone.
Still to this day, but
the funny thing is, they blew up any of the starships that were outside flying around, so they didn't mind killing those troopers. But then any of the other troopers that were inside the ship, they stunned. But then also basically they left witnesses to that they are still around. Because I mean, you can't tell me that any of the clone troopers that were on that ship couldn't see and go, "Oh, that's some clone armor."
Right. That's
Clone Force 99. That's Clone Force 99. We should know. They would know who that is, right?
No, because they're not stupid enough to ask. Nobody's stupid enough to, the old philosophy, like, nobody is stupid enough to attack Aldhani, so they wouldn't need a whole garrison there. Like, and they're not, because you can literally paint them blue and orange. Like, I think Wrecker's, he had a little bit of, from what I saw, like orange on his armor, so that's totally different. Like, you're no longer a clone. You're just a Mandalorian that isn't supposed to be really around anymore in public because, according to them, they all were destroyed when they blew up Corellia, or not Corellia. I'm sorry,
Camino.
Yeah, but really, like a black box,
whatever that
from a like Is this Star
That
Wars?
that conveniently had the recordings.
Like, is this a thing? I didn't know Venator classes had I didn't know Star Cruisers had black boxes. I thought that was just a,
I mean, I didn't really pay. I didn't really
why
see
would you have that?
I didn't really see that they stole necessarily a black box. They were just like
it was
hijacking the recording of the destruction of.
I mean, what's a black box?
Well, I guess yes, it is technically the black box. Whatever.
I mean, I don't know. It's a black box.
Whatever.
But I mean, yeah, like let's just conveniently get on. And again, like this is supposed to be like I don't know how hot. Like he's an admiral, so I don't know how close he is to Rampart. I'm sorry, Tarkin. But again, it just seems very easy to infiltrate. And I know these clones are advanced, but it just seems very easy to get through this shipyard that has Rampart, his Venator, who is next to Tarkin. You would think there'd be a little bit more security if he's getting that.
And I found it funny that a group that's supposed to be kind of specialized in multiple forms of attack procedures or whatever, but at the same time, there's meant to be very I don't know specialized, but definitely very versatile and everything like that. That they couldn't somehow find a way to sneak in for very long into this ship at all.
But again, it goes back to your point though earlier, where we were like, they've painted this empire to just be stupid and like weak and everything, and that would be why. I mean, that makes sense. Like if this is now your empire, like why would they have guards? Why would they have a garrison protecting this imperial?
Well, the thing is, too, is
nobody would be stupid enough to infiltrate it.
But the problem is, though, is that they already made the comment about there being those insurgent groups or whatever that are out there. So you'd still think there'd be a degree of security because they don't want to risk the idea of these members or whatever happening to be on Coruscant and causing havoc there. Because look what happened. So
you would assume, or you would think that there would be a little bit more. But again, it's the same thing with like, episode 1 and 2 where they were raiding Casa de Dooku, and you had his war chest, right? You would think that there'd be a little bit more clones there during this operation than there were, but they were easily able to go through there. Yeah, I mean, they got somewhat, got caught and everything, but it's just like you would think that there'd be more, they'd be taking these operations more seriously.
Right.
But because they don't, or there's a lack of clones, like how, like, they say, oh, Clone Force 99 is supposed to be so good. Like, are they really though, compared to what they're up against? Like you're fighting 10, 11. I mean, numbers aren't exact, but it's like you're really not that impressive if you're having to only fight 6 people or a garrison, like not even a full garrison. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
What are they fighting at this point?
But and then that's another the other thing. You're like you're still to the 8 episodes in this season, and you've not shot a single clone, but they're like they don't care about you. Like they're like the orders are to shoot on sight, and you're stunning them. But like to your point, you'll blow up ships that are shooting at the Venator that you're in.
Right.
So, and why did they steal that Venator? Like that's the other thing, man. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
That probably would have fetched a good price on the market,
right? Well, Sid would have been able to retire. My goodness, like it doesn't make sense for them to steal it because obviously it's it's hard to hide a Venator, but still, like you could have sold it. Sid could have had a lot of.
It still would have been quite the thing to try and get away with when then you have all of Coruscant, alert and ready, and there was already.
But hey, they're smart enough. They could have deactivated alarms, and they could have made that.
This is true.
They could have done something to. Where I don't know. I just sat there. I was like, why didn't you just steal this thing? Like, so I don't know, but I did find it fun. It's like the children are fighting, and then Daddy comes out from the bottom and basically puts everybody in their place.
Right. Well, what I had to laugh too with this episode, since we just kind of breezed over episode 7, I guess that's kind of the thing. That's a lot of what it was. With 8 here, I did find it really funny that here you have Omega with probably one of them, basically her being the little genetic abomination that she is, basically running around with the most familiar face on Coruscant, and nobody happens to kind of recognize and go, wait a minute.
It's funny that
something familiar about that face.
Who was the senator for Camino? I
forgot her name.
Hey, she doesn't recognize Omega.
Well, that didn't matter. No, because she already basically Omega tells her who she is.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you're a Kaminoan and you're not familiar with who Omega is.
She didn't seem to be too
either concerned
with their planet. She was more involved with what was going on in the Senate. So with whatever was going on the planet, with the cloning and stuff like that, she didn't seem too involved. But I'm just I just kind of laugh too, because when Chuchi is meeting or having a conversation with Rampart, never any point does he happen to look at or face Omega at all. I was laughing at the coincidence of it, that he just happens to not look down at this girl or anything like that. He just mainly was talking directly to Chuchi, which, is what you'd probably do, I guess. But not once does he glance at at Omega at all to, notice who she is.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh God, the plot conveniences still continue on. And it was, she even was right there in the whole Senate. It was like, oh, I mean, yeah, they announced, what happened at Tapoca City and everything. So I guess it didn't really matter that they knew who she was and everything. But I was just kind of like, really? So you just basically more or less announced that you guys are alive? At least, I mean, certainly for her, which I would think would link her, put eyes on her pretty heavily to then link her to Clone Force 99, who tried to go into hiding. So the question then becomes how are they what's going to be happening in the follow-up episode? Are we going to go right back to fillers, or is there going to be an actual consequences to what happened or anything that happened with this episode? It gets the old almonds activated there, doesn't it? It's like, what the hell happened? What the hell's gonna happen? I'd have to imagine there would be some kind of consequences for this crap.
The Rampart?
Well, not to Rampart. We already know Rampart's gonna be getting the squad. But did he? I mean for Omega and Clone Force 99. That's mainly what I mean is for them. What's going to happen with them?
I don't know, but you bring up an interesting point. So did Rampart just take the he said he was ordered or he was following orders? So but he's gonna he's dispensable.
So this could be the scenario. Either he is going to be basically hauled off, imprisoned, or court-martialed, or whatever, put on a very big public display, or he's going to be basically shuffled back into a different position. Maybe something's going to happen between him and Tarkin. Tarkin's going to have a little talking with him, and they're going to basically try and hide his presence. Or, like I say, he is going to actually be locked up, and the key will be thrown away. So,
yeah, I'm going real quick. This is bothering me.
Okay. What's up?
Hold on. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. Stand by. This is not going to work for me. You're the one who is better at doing this than I am. Let's see.
What is it you're trying to...
Hold on. Oh dear. I want to go here real quick. So I just want to go over this really quick. Let's see if it. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay, so Wikipedia. So species, human, clone, gender, female, pronouns, she, her. I just want to just go over this because it's still to this day bothering me.
Okay.
So Amiga was an unmodified yet enhanced human female clone created from the genetic template of the Mandalorian bounty hunter Jango Fett.
She can't be that's
so
that can't she isn't unmodified. She is modified by the fact that it's you're showing everything, bro.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do it. I need to pull up the other one though. So
next time you just gotta do the share tab.
Share tab. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm not done yet though. But
no, she is modified because, like it says right there, from the genetic template of Jango Fett, who was male, sex male. This is female, therefore modified clone. Now they might say that the aging process isn't done with her like the other clones. Hang on. Do you want me to pull that up or you got
I've got it pulled up here.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to
But that's oh god. And on top of it, no, not a clone. She is she's a modified human being, yes.
Okay,
an abomination against the Force.
And then this is so I just pulled this up too because I was like, so Jango Fett, biological information, homeworld, Concord Dawn, whatever, blah blah blah. Species human, gender male, no pronouns. However, Jango Fett was a famed Mandalorian human male bounty hunter. Male bounty hunter. Do we want to click on male and see what male says? Oh, they have a video that explains.
You're not sharing the screen, but I can take your word for it.
Oh, it wasn't sharing? Darn it. Hold on. Well, where did it go? Hold on. I wasn't sharing the screen the whole time? Bastard.
No, you weren't.
Okay.
All right.
Well, hold on. Is it sharing now?
Not presently, no.
What in the... Oh, this is so stupid. Okay. So, okay. Species human male.
Right.
Male.
Right.
Is that how you say it? Male? Male. Clone Temp was a human male bounty hunter.
And clone template for the Grand Army of the Republic.
So, and it's just so like I don't. So it's still to this day it bothers me. It bothers.
No,
me
it's ridiculous. That was when we first started watching the Bad Batch. That was the things I first started complaining about. Is that it makes no sense to call Omega a clone. She's a modified iteration of Jango as a female. They had to do a lot of switching up. They had to go Jurassic Park to do this.
Female.
Yes.
There's a fee in front of the male. Female. She, her.
Yep.
Female. Female clone. Human. Female clone.
Yep. Genetic abomination.
Explain to me, like, how does this make sense? How does it make sense?
It doesn't make sense. That's just it.
There's got to be some science behind this, though.
They got none. They got none at all. It's just at this point, there's no real science behind this. It's all garbly gook. They don't care.
I don't get it.
No,
that just bothered me, and it's something we've talked about for 54 episodes, not 54, but however long.
No, since we started checking out the Bad
Big
Batch.
going on. It's like it really, and even more so now with all this pronoun just linguistic nonsense. But like
destruction of the English language at its best.
Yeah.
Especially when they want to start throwing in a bunch of made up bullshit. Because this is just as it is, folks. There are two sexes, male and female. I've been trying to eliminate the whole use of the word gender because that's exactly what those bunch of weirdos used that term, created that term for this very purpose.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get that out of my vocabulary personally, but sadly, it's one thing it's tough to remove. But yes, for this whole clone nonsense, and like, and that was this is another thing that I'm trying to remember what point I made this note for this episode. It's like, why didn't Organa also get Mothma now for helping with this situation? Where was Mon Mothma for this? Telling me all this nonsense was going on about, war budget and stuff like that, and Mothma wasn't involved at all? Did they maybe not use her because maybe there might be some stigma over Ander? I don't know. Kind of curious about that one.
Yeah, that brings a good point. Like, so they bring Bail back.
Yeah, they brought Bail back, but where was Mothma? Like,
probably planning the wedding between her daughter and Talon Karrde's son.
But no, because I don't think we're that far ahead in the timeline, even though we still haven't gotten an established timeline yet.
I don't know.
They still haven't been very clear on that. They've been very wishy-washy on actually saying how long it's been since the whole Order 66 and the switch over to the Empire and stuff like that. It's bugging the hell out of me.
I don't understand.
I got to know.
So there's no established. I don't know.
But like it's like, it was part of my own notes. Organa, I felt, was getting awfully involved in all this. He was being a little, for so early on, I'm guessing, he seemed to be quite putting himself in the middle of things. Even though, like he said, the Yoda and Obi-Wan, you're gonna be hearing some stuff about what we're possibly gonna be doing, but just know we're only doing it for putting on a face of, yes, we're with you, Palpatine, not being so blazingly open about it. But oh well.
Well, yeah, so I really liked, what else? I don't know why I put that. I don't know if that's going to take me anywhere. The link I posted in Discord, I don't know. It was technically a tweet. I wanted to go over that because I found this really, really interesting. And I know that it's not causing, but well, I guess it is causing stuff. But no, you guys, how Greg was saying, refute the premise.
Right.
The premise that there's more genders than male and female and all this and that. And then
that's kind of where I get that, you got to even reject some of their terminology.
Reject, not refute. Well, you also refute, but yeah, reject.
Yeah, refute, reject. It's the same. But yeah, that's like the way I say it. It's like, we got to also reject the terminology that they've created.
No.
What this helps blur the lines with everything. It's been the whole purpose for it.
Let me ask you this, because you've read probably more Legends than I have.
Uh-huh.
Was Luke ever? So I don't know if this. We want to go.
Are we done with talking about the episodes? Then?
I mean, I think so. Like, I think it was, I mean,
just making sure,
I was surprised that they threw Rampart under the bus. I did not think they were going to go
that
there.
That caught me a little bit too. I was like, oh wow, they really.
And then and I'm not like I've watched Clone Wars, but I haven't gone through all. I think I didn't go through season 7 or 8, but like so. I was watching Star Wars Theory, and he was like, "Wait, what's that noise? Why are they playing his music?" And then he, Palpatine.
Sheev rises from the bottom.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, and I was like, okay, they went there too.
Yeah,
because I was on the fence. I was like, are they gonna do it, or are they not gonna do it? Like,
I was curious too, and I made a comment on Rhino's Casual Rage, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't help myself. I had a bit of a that moment when we got old Palpatine out there and Ian McDermott's voicing him. And although this is the thing that I started to wonder, was that actually him voicing Palpatine, or was it an AI program?
Ian McDermott?
Yeah, because I mean, he was listed in the credits. But they did that last time with James Earl Jones. They didn't say if it was an AI generated voice or assisted voice or whatever.
I would assume.
No, I was like, I started wondering.
I
started wondering, was that actually Ian McDermott doing the voice or not? But I mean, I
here's the thing.
I enjoyed it. I liked. It was great that he, like I said before, just a few moments ago, is that we got him in. And he was being Palpatine. He was being very manipulative. He pulled the rug right out from under all of them. He, played them all like a fiddle. It was classic Sheev. So I hate to admit it. I guess I could be considered I did some seal clapping with that one. It was a one shining moment out of 8 freaking episodes to finally get something worthwhile. But then, yeah, he basically got it all played out, possibly the way he wanted, or maybe he just rolled with the punches and, aligned things the way he needed to. But to now roll out for his Imperial Stormtrooper program to now start, basically recruiting across the galaxy.
Yeah.
And bringing in some new soldiers.
I'm the same, I guess. Like, I was like, I think more so shocked. I was like, they brought him back. And that is like, I think the only thing, in my opinion, and like I said, this is my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact, but in my opinion, the only good thing about that episode was Palpatine bringing him back.
Yeah, basically, I'd agree with that. It was kind of.
I love how but even like he was like in. And rest assured, Rampart will face the transgressions. And I'm like, yeah. One moment, but and then all saying that, I mean, there's obviously though a difference, a huge difference. They don't even come close. Like the Sheev of canon, right? We've talked about this canon,
right?
Disney canon and their Sheev that they created. Like there's obviously a difference. Boy, would I love to have seen the real Sheev, like adapting, not adapting, but bring the real Sheev into this
with actual skilled and talented writers.
Yes.
And people that actually adhere to George Lucas's canon and stuff like that.
What if Sheev if he came out and just looked at Rampart and did the whole shh, and then like.
Told him to shut up and just keep to his side. Yeah,
and then watch the troopers arrest him. But I don't know. I think those were probably the two main.
Just quietly escort him away. Just
the two main. The other thing though that it's funny is like you bring Sheev back, but where is Tarkin in this? And Tarkin is like
Tarkin has been kind of MIA since season 1, hasn't he?
Like we know he dies on the Death Star, so he's not dead.
No,
so, like,
he's not dead.
You bring him in season 1, but then season 2, he's supposed to be a minion of Tarkin doing all this and that. Where is Tarkin? Like, if you're going to bring back El Jefe himself, Sheev, where is Tarkin? It makes more sense to have Tarkin around than Sheev at this point in time.
No, I think the reason why is they're trying to keep certain characters at a minimum so they aren't being overused.
Overused? They, like...
that was at least the one good thing that they did with Vader and Rebels was that they did not overuse him.
Where's Vader?
The problem,
where is Vader?
That is another question that I was actually starting to think about as we've been talking about all this, especially with the appearance of Palpatine here. You'd almost think Vader would have been right there at his side.
That's what he's out looking for, Kenobi.
Oh, shut up.
That's what he's doing. He's training Reva to be his apprentice. Because Reva's the new Star Killer. No, that doesn't make sense because they kept Star Killer in canon. I don't know, but that's a good. Where's Vader? Like, again, like these characters, like you bring Sheev back. Tarkin's nowhere to be found. Mothma is planning her daughter's wedding or funeral with Alan Card. Where's Vader? Vader's like the guy, the right hand. Why is Vader not out searching for these guys? Like you're
I think like you said, he's probably he's out searching for somebody, but it'd be more like out searching for whatever remnant Jedi there could possibly even be that maybe weren't reported by clone officers for Order 66. So if he was doing anything, he'd be out killing a bunch of Jedi.
Here's a better question. So like Clone Force are an elite. Yeah, Clone Force 99 are elite. But you send regular clone troopers to try to track them down. Why not do like Delta Squad or another like elite squad do another elite squad?
Oh, don't ask them to bring in actual
I'm just asking, like, if this task may be under, I would agree. This task is probably beneath Vader. Vader doesn't need to, do like he could, but like to your point, he's probably looking for other Jedi. But, like you just send normal troopers to hunt down an elite squad. It's it's like sending the special ops of the Air Force to go hunt down special forces, Delta Squad, like Delta forces.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna send the Air Force to go after Marines. Like that makes no sense. Or it's just like a regular like infantryman to go after like a Green Beret. Like it makes no sense. That's literally kind of like the equivalent. Like if Clone Force 99 is portrayed as if they're portraying Clone Force 99 like they have been, this is the elite of the elite. This isn't just like normal like clone troopers. So if you're hunting these guys down and you're sending normal like cops to find them, like probably not your best,
not sending their best
card to play. It's like you're sending a bunch of Bobby Bouchers out to find them. But then again, to your point, like this whole show has been based off them needing to lay low, but they don't.
This second season, the whole point at least was supposed to be them
it's so
laying
stupid
low.
Because how you can't make a show about a group of people that are supposed to lay low if all they do is lay low. But it's just so stupid. It makes no sense. They put them into these situations where it's like out in the open.
Yep.
I mean,
big old target on their back.
I don't like it. Makes no sense. And where is Sid? I bet you Sid is going to sell them out to Rampart. Or I don't know if Rampart's going to have I don't know if he's going to have any more.
It brings the question is is he going to see the error of his ways and go and join the Rebels?
He's gonna go.
I don't know.
Cody.
I don't know.
Go find Cody. That's what he's gonna do.
That thought just popped into my brain just now.
He's gonna remember the conversation that he had with Cody. Like, oh man, they turned on us. I need to go find Cody. And he's actually going to fight alongside. Hey, newsflash! I don't know if you caught this in Rebels. He's actually going to fight alongside Ahsoka and Rex in Rebels against Thrawn.
I don't know. He didn't. Rex appeared. Yeah, Cody didn't appear in Rebels, but
No,
Rex
Rex did. Rex. But he's gonna go find Cody, and Cody's gonna lead him to Rex, and then he's gonna join the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Rampart's actually the old guy next to Leia in A New Hope during the medal ceremony. Newsflash.
Oh.
No, but I mean, I sit here and I just wonder. It's like, where do you go from here? And where's Crosshair? Where is Crosshair?
Yeah, Crosshair was oddly.
And why did everybody say Tech was going to die? And why did Echo leave? To go with Rex.
Echo, they kind of they foreshadowed it with especially like him suddenly then getting a little closer with Omega. I had a sense something was going to happen, but I didn't know what yet. I was waiting to see what was going to play out. I didn't think of death. I just figured it'd be something. But yeah, so that was another. Yeah, so Echo ends up leaving at the end of the episode, especially after, like I said, him and Omega were kind of having their little chats and stuff like that. And I swear to God, they better not make her Force sensitive.
Oh, you already know she is, because she's meditating at the end of the.
No. Like she said she's trying it out. It's not giving her. It's not the same thing as the way, Gerbil or Garble, the Wookiee, the way it works. Gunji. Thank you. The way it worked for him, it's not working the same way for her. So far, at least, no. But they certainly planted the seeds for it to start becoming a thing.
No, she's going to be Force sensitive. Watch. Mark my words.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hoping they're gonna take what Alex Guinness said in A New Hope about the Force, how it binds us. Or no, that's what he do both, right? What Yoda said and Obi-Wan said. Yeah, the energy force that surrounds us and
yes.
Yeah.
And then what is
gives a Jedi his powers?
Yeah, it was Obi-Wan. It binds us, it penetrates us, what does he say? It surrounds us, it binds us, it penetrates us. It's an all living. I gotta pull up the clip how did he say it in A New Hope when he's talking to Luke? He's like, it surrounds us, it binds us, it brings the what does he say? How does he say it?
Hang on, I'm going for it right now.
But they're going to take that and be like, oh yeah, well, 100%. She can be Force sensitive. Why bring Gunji in? Why do it? That whole episode did nothing to advance the story. So why do it?
Lord knows.
What? If she becomes a Jedi in the new Jedi Survivor game, because they did that episode based off Fallen Order. It doesn't make sense. Why is she meditating? What?
Well, like she said, she got into the practice because of Gunji. She's trying it out. It kind of.
Where's Gunji?
Is this more helping for her, like kind of clear her mind and get into her own headspace and stuff like that? Otherwise, it's not having the same.
She's supposed to have Jango's brain,
right?
And Jango's body parts.
Because she's not all of his body parts, apparently.
Because she's a clone of Jango Fett, who was a male. She's gonna be a Jedi, dude. Watch, I guarantee you. Or
like I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they end up doing.
And her lightsaber is gonna be the same color as her bow.
Oh,
it's gonna be purple. They're gonna disrespect Samuel L. Jackson. She's gonna be the other character that has a purple lightsaber.
Well, I mean, the purple lightsaber, or it quickly kind of became not so tied to him, even in EU. Like other characters started having purple lightsabers.
Yeah, It's gonna be like a light violet type. Pink. She'll have a pink lightsaber. She'll be the first one that has a pink lightsaber.
Stop saying things like that.
Dude, this whole season has
it's been a big waste of time.
I like to think that I can get somewhat close to what I think they'll do, but I was completely off this season. I had no idea that, they were going to have a whole episode based on Kashyyyk, and had no idea that they were going to raid. Dooku made sense because of Tales of the Jedi, but I didn't know this whole episode, and then bringing Sheed back, and then throwing the guy under the bus, and just just everything, man.
No, I know. It really kind of.
Where is Gunji? Where is Mon Mothma?
They left Gunji on the plane. They left Gunji on Kashyyyk.
I thought he went with them though.
No, that was the whole point was them. No, the whole point was them bringing him to the planet, and that basically the episode ended with them on the planet celebrating. So the question did become, was Gunji going to go with them? But no, the whole point was to bring him home to Kashyyyk, and they got him introduced into a new tribe, basically, for him to go and live with. So that was the whole point.
Okay, well, where's Moth at the Senate, at the Rotunda?
I can't answer that one for you.
They can't. Her and Bale.
I can answer the Gunji question. I can't answer the Mothma question. Because I don't know what the hell they like I said, it's just funny that they happen to leave her out of this.
And why is Bale not doing disreputable things to hide his, you know what I mean? Because you said we're gonna be doing some stuff that appears to be bad. He's not doing anything bad. So he's not he's acting.
That's what I said, man.
A senator. So what are you doing? You're giving them every reason to think that there's something up with you.
Yeah, basically.
But where's Moth? Where's Perrin? Isn't he a governor?
It's all so sad and boring.
They're probably fighting about their daughter, Leia. So I don't know. I have no idea what happens in the next episode. Does Sid come back? Where's Feet? Where's the pirate? They can go raid temples of the Lost Ark. They can go find the Temple of Doom.
If only. I'd take Temple of Doom over this crap right now.
Temple of Doom was a good movie. You hush your
I
mouth.
enjoyed Temple. Wait, you said you haven't watched Indiana Jones movies. Right?
I've seen Temple of Doom. I fond memories.
Yeah, Temple of Doom.
He's like Kali. No, Kali.
Kalima.
Oh yeah, that was like Kalima. Yeah. Then the little what's his name? Bobo. What's the kid's name?
Oh, Short Round.
Yeah, Short Round. That's what I said. Yeah, Short Round, dude.
Oh, Bozo.
I would take Short Round over Omega. Can you imagine? This show would be a million times better if Short Round was put in place of Omega.
Oh, infinitely so. Yeah, I'd take Short Round. No go, Dr. Jones.
No go, Dr. Jones. Well, So I pulled up the two things I want to go over because again, we've gone over them, but it's just again Wikipedia it's lining out that Omega is a genetic replication or unmodified clone from the
that's pretty ridiculous.
It's like female and male. But yeah, I heard a lot of people talking about is it Sam Maggs? Who is this guy that wrote, or this person that wrote this?
Her.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know if it was
Sam Maggs is a woman that has earned some ire, especially within the gaming community, because of her dipshittery of, I believe she was the one that tried to claim she was to skirt the word, as I've heard other people use it, graped by people in GTA and claimed it was real life. The person is completely bonkers. And
so this is the person that wrote this short story about Luke that claimed that he was actually Listen, I've not read. We need to get EU. I'm gonna reach out to EU Commando. We're gonna get him on the show because him or EU purist or elitist, because these guys, I think EU Commando is beating EU elitist as far as like book reading, but I know they're both like very similar. But because I've read probably not even a fourth of the Legend books, but I never ever have read anything, any article, any comic that said Luke was gay. Never did. Never was a thing.
This has been something that this person has been notorious for doing, especially, and that was what brought a lot of people as being very iffy on the idea of the whole remake for Knights of the Old Republic, because she was part of the team that was rewriting the story, basically. And people were getting especially very nervous when they heard she was attached to it.
She worked for Lucas?
Not for Lucas, no. She was
brought
she's gonna be brought in, or was brought in for a short time for the remake for the Knights of the Old Republic remake. And thankfully,
she's the person.
Yeah,
I remember talking about,
and like it was, people also kind of pointed out how she may have.
I remember you were not happy about it. You were up in all arms about it.
But I was also very happy when I heard it got canceled. So I was like, yippee yahoo! By all means, cancel that pronto, because this person's freaking insane.
So if she wrote a story, did she like, I don't know, it was a tweet that Nazo's servant arc had posted, but it was Luke Skywalker is LGBTQ plus according to Star Wars community Mark Hamill. It's by the postmillennial.com. I've never heard of him, but I saw this again because like a lot of people are talking about it. So, one, if Luke was not ever established as that within canon, but she comes, I don't know if she wrote a story. I don't know how she's tied to it.
Yeah, this tweet you mentioned.
Yeah, that one
seems more based on headcanon than anything else. Something interpreted by Wikipedia and some fans. Lucasfilm hasn't even had a public statement or anything about it for the current canon so far as I'm aware. So yeah, the Post Millennial had an article saying Luke Skywalker is LGBTQ plus according to Star Wars community Mark Hamill. I think I know what they're gonna be talking about here, because there's a clip that I've seen around of Mark Hamill.
He's just in the news as of late, isn't he?
Yeah, I find it kind of funny too, because like we did something that was positive with the whole, with the whole thing of him remembering Kevin Conroy and all that. It's like, oh, good
on you, mate. And then it's like he's just been in the crossfire for.
Yeah. So here's the article. According to Star Wars community and Mark Hamill, I'm guessing, insists that Luke Skywalker is gay. He's all about the cock now, apparently. He likes to throat the sausage. Most iconic character in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker is now listed among the LGBTQ individuals on authoritative Star Wars fan encyclopedia Wikipedia. The online wiki for Star Wars fandom, Wikipedia, updated its LGBTQ individuals page to include Luke Skywalker based on recent short story by activist writer Sam Maggs, reports bounding into comics. Oh, they actually, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Post Millennial, so I find it funny that they're referencing bounding into comics. But yeah, here's the part of and we Dig Kenobi made a point of it when I cut the clip out from last week's show about us talking about the way Wikipedia was going, and then he mentioned this whole thing. I told him, yeah, we didn't see this news until it started coming out like a day or so later, so we didn't get the chance to talk about it. But yeah, so apparently they're throwing in more characters. Man, there's apparently a lot of gays.
It's just all of a sudden.
It's just
all of a sudden.
So one Twitter user asked Wikipedia about Luke's LGBT categorization and wrote, "Not trolling in any way, but what is the rationale for Luke being included on the list? Not saying there isn't one. Just have some nuts. I just am not really familiar with any defining his gender, sexuality, etc. In canon, it's just sexuality. You don't need to put gender. He's male. In canon, besides for maybe a girlfriend in the comics, there is a story in which he felt romantic feelings towards a guy." Wiki replied, later clarifying, "Short story Luke on the bright side."
I've not read it.
Neither have I. The story itself appeared in Stories of the Jedi and Sith, published by Lucasfilm Press in June 2022, a book targeted for the age range of 9 to 12.
Interesting.
Yes. A bit. According to Bounding into Comics, the actual story doesn't appear to show any romantic feelings expressed by Luke Skywalker towards Sergeant Ray Hollis of Alliance Special Forces, despite Sam Magg's clear history of pushing her activism into her stories. After the story's publication, Twitter users commented on the romance into the story. The Wayseeker Jedi wrote, "I just read Luke on the Bright Side from Star Wars Stories of Jedi and Sith, and you can't tell me this is not a romance. Now, I have to know, Sam Maggs, is Luke Skywalker canonically queer? Please tell me he is." Oh, I hate these people. Not hate, I despise them. I feel that's a little less. Me after every page of Luke on the Bright Side by Sam Maggs. My God, these rebels gay. Good for them. Another tweeted. Oh, God. Then how does anybody procreate in this galaxy if they're all gay?
That's what I'm saying.
In recent controversy over whether or not Luke Skywalker is gay is not even the beginning of it. According to a Vanity Fair article from 2016, when J.J. Abrams was a creator with the franchise, he said that Star Wars should have more characters who identify as non-straight. Mark Hamill, who played Luke, suggested in an interview at the time that Luke could be gay. Vanity Fair reported that Hamill said, "Of course, Luke is gay." Hamill said, "Fans are writing and ask all these questions. I'm bully." So this is part of the clip that I've seen floating around. So Hamill said, "Fans are writing and asking all these questions. I'm bullying in school. I'm afraid to come out. They say to me, could Luke be gay? I'd say it is meant to be interpreted by the viewer. If you think Luke is gay, of course he is. You should not be ashamed of it. Judge Luke by his character, not by who he loves." You just kind of nullified that then, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
you're saying by his character and not, so he doesn't have, by that, he doesn't have to be gay. Or he's not. An op-ed from science fiction and fantasy genre subject site Tor addressed Hamill's comment in 2016 in an article titled "Do Not Make Luke Skywalker Another Tragic Gay Character." Emmett Asher Perrin wrote, If he were suddenly revealed as a gay character in lieu of all that, his sexuality could be perceived by the audience as tragedy. Poor Luke Skywalker, who devoted his life to others and never got the things that he wanted for himself. Asher Perrin put Luke Skywalker in the context of Dumbledore from Harry Potter franchise, who had been retconned as homosexual, which added layers of unintentional meaning to the already established biography of the character. Yeah, you kind of see the books in a whole different light when you go through them. And you're like, William Shatner, who played the iconic Star Trek Captain Kirk, the man, waded into the controversy over a potentially gay Luke in 2021 when he pointed out that Luke got married to a woman in Star Wars. I recently shared this too. Luke got married in Star Wars canon, so unless Tatooine it was repressive and he was hiding it, looks like he chose a woman named Mara. Thank you, Captain Kirk.
Right.
When even William Shatner knows your canon better than you.
Yeah.
Others pointed out that Luke and his wife had a child named the child Ben, which made more freaking sense. I love them smoking hot redheads. Disney, which backs an international LGBTQ advocacy group, Gilson, and has opposed legislation protecting parental rights in cases where schools seek to keep students' gender identity secret, is no stranger to employing the latest trends in diversity as a part of their programming and ethos. As the Sportskeeda reports, the change of Luke Skywalker's orientation is one of many moves towards quote-unquote diversity and representation that Wikipedia has embraced, while as, like a lot of things, subverted, perverted, and destroyed and kicked out anybody that had, a modicum of logic and sense, because you can't have that. So they took over, and now you have the mental patients running the nut house.
Yeah.
Recently a controversy emerged regarding adding preferred pronouns. So that's what we discussed last week. Some felt that this was unnecessary and went against the original spirit of the space opera. Others thought it was an important step towards creating a more inclusive and diverse universe, site reports. So yeah, that was that whole, and I've been seeing, certainly I've been seeing OG popping off on this recently. I have a tweet from her that I have pulled up. She says, George did a lot of show and don't tell in Star Wars. That includes Luke's quote-unquote sexuality. Movie cutscenes in the Star Wars novel, he is interested in Wendy. Then later, he is attracted to Leia, not knowing they were twins until Yoda revealed it to Luke. It is not whatever you want him to be. It is how George created him. Even in the EU, he was approved as being straight, married, and having a son. And sexuality is never directly addressed. Luke is whatever the audience wants him. Yeah, that's that bullshit. When we were writing the EU stuff, it was canon. Yeah, that was. And this comes from Michael A. Stackpole. Saying that one. So yeah, one of the writers for some of the EU material. And now it's like the full thing. When we were writing EU stuff, it was canon. Now it's not, and we knew that was always a possibility. But if it gets picked up in a show, it's canon again. Bottom line, it's entertainment. If it entertains you and you like it, just be happy with that. I guess that's. And at this point, this has become the other thing: is that we basically get them. We're all just basically making up whatever canon we want for this universe at this point, because nothing is legitimate. It's all a bunch of fan fiction at this point. We've mentioned that, especially when it comes to the Mouse's canon. It's nothing but goofy, loopy little fan fiction that these weirdos keep pumping out there. And I swear, I made this comment somewhere else, is that, a lot of these writers they don't have any kind of real, like, either world experience or anything like that, or even just have, ventured into anything that's really imaginative. They don't have an imagination, really. These are like people that were growing up playing The Sims and stuff like that, where they just want to put in a bunch of weird slice of life and self inserts and stuff like that. They aren't creating characters. They're just like inserting themselves into half this crap. And that's what and then this is then them also taking other established characters and messing with them in some way. And then in lieu of this, making Luke gay because it fits their little headcanon or whatever little weird fan fiction they want to write about the characters and their characters, probably. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but go ahead.
Well, I think that it's been established that Luke is the only person within canon Star Wars that was able to pull off Mara Jade as a wife. So not that I'm jealous or anything, but yeah, like, and he had kids, and I just find it very interesting that this again comes after that whole Kenobi by Kenobi, or what was the thing we were talking about a couple months ago? Tim was talking about it, the whole Kenobi series, not Kenobi series, but like Kenobi being having a male lover or something like that.
It was from one of the books where he may have expressed the flirtation of finding other men attractive or something like that. It wasn't like 100%. It was just kind of like
because
he wouldn't be against it or something like that. But yeah, that was basically what they were doing.
So I just think it's like them doing this, justifies it in their head. Like, oh yeah, see, like he, because Mark Hamill said it, he made this comment like, yeah, Luke was gay, and reject the that doesn't really fit. It's just ridiculous. Out of all the books, out of what George established, in the movies, the books, the comics, like up until he sold, I have never read a one thing that either one implicitly or implicitly stated Luke was gay. I never read anything that gave the impression Luke was gay.
Right.
If anything, I remember him kissing his sister. And
before realizing it was kind of like, hey, look at what I did.
He married Mara Jade. He had kids. Like, there's nothing within canon. There's no evidence.
Nope.
I mean, it just comes down to your subjective feelings. Like subjective, like, oh, he could be. Well, that's subjective. There's no objectivity when it comes to whether he was gay or not. And then Sam Maggs comes in and just, again, I still don't know if there was a story written or if it was their twist of Mark Hamill's words. Because if Mark Hamill says that, well, he was the character, like he played the character, so his word is as good as George's word, right? So it's just ridiculous. And like you said, like this is they want to remain, it's like remaining relevant. So, they have to do this. And it's not even that they have to, they want to do it because that's just the mindset that they have, that like they have to be, all about inclusive and that's the thing, man. Like you can love people and you can, want to be nice to them and, and do all that, regardless if you accept what they believe or how they act. Like you don't have to like how they act. You don't have to believe what they believe is right. So it's just, this is classic Disney. This is wokeism. This is what they're
right.
This is their agenda. If you don't believe me, like Tim was going off of there's apparently a lightsaber show, or not a lightsaber show, a Disney show with these young characters that have pronouns on them. And this is for the ages of like, he was going over it last night on the space.
I heard them talking about that, and I haven't looked into that new show. I know I saw something
Bright
of it
Star or
around.
something. Yeah.
And they were talking about, how there's some pronoun stuff getting thrown around with that too. Although I don't know if it was in the show or if it was just
on Wikipedia.
So I don't know on that one.
Never in my whole life as a Star Wars fan, this has never been a topic of contention. This has never been anything that anybody was ever questioned or ever talked about. Now, I know that sounds subjective, but I'm telling you, from my experience, I never one time asked, was this character gay? Is he not gay? Like it wasn't a thing.
No,
and it's just the last 5-10 years.
Well, you were never asking the sexuality of any character. That was never
even in the writing, even with the stories that I read, that never even, like, I didn't read a book and think, man, like, is he gay? Like, you read Kenobi, like, if anything, I was wondering if Kenobi was gonna get with Anna Lee.
Yeah.
Right, because that's how the writing was. There was a I
There's a
still
closeness to them.
I still believe to this day that like if he like Kenobi,
if Luke wasn't a subject matter, he probably would have gone with
probably would, right? But this is just ridiculousness. This is just utter just doltishness, man. Like again, that's not me being a bigot. I'm just saying, like, it's just this is just a way for them to continue to advance their agenda with everything they're doing.
It's forced, it's heavy-handed, it's nothing that comes as natural. It's always something that they put at the forefront of any announced new characters. It's not letting the reader or viewer or whatever just kind of experience the story as it naturally progresses. And this, like you say, with the Kenobi book, that was just how things were progressing throughout the story, and nothing was promoted as one way or another that I'm aware of for that book. So it was just kind of you read it and it was just the natural progression of the way the story went. But nowadays you're kind of hit over the head with what exactly it's going to be, and especially even like marketing and stuff like that. Before, that's all they talk about is what kind of characters they have, quote unquote, what kind of characters they have in their story, and just who they're banging and everything. So it's not just letting somebody discover and see it naturally progress out. You have to be told who these characters are, because they have
you have to wave it. You have to wave this in front of they have to wave this in front of your face and be like, hey, this is true. Because this happened.
They have to put this out because they also need a shielded defense for their usually crappy writing. And so they tell everyone, these are the characters in the story, and if you don't like it, you are a bigot, a phobe, or whatever. So they put this they do basically like a preemptive, like, defensive barrier to try and stave off any kind of criticisms that could be lobbied at them.
Well, I think it's also like they're thinking, well, we need, we also have to remain relevant, and this is the way the culture is going. This is the way people are thinking, and we need to get in line with it, because we're not going to be probably around much longer if we don't go with the trend. Or maybe they honestly believe this stuff. I mean, it's one of two. Like, they either believe it.
There's some that probably not. Yeah, there are the true believers, no doubt. There are probably some that are doing it just to kind of keep a job.
I'm telling you one thing though. I really think that, like, when if people weren't as quiet as they are, and I think it's going to come a point in time here soon where, like, it's going to be you're going to find out that I think there's a lot more people that are against this stuff than they're for it. And I just referenced the stuff that happened in Florida with DeSantis, and however you feel. I don't care how you feel about, not you, I'm just saying, I don't care how you feel about him in general, but he stood up to Disney and the grooming and all this and that, and this is what it is. Like, you can sit there and say, you can say, oh, no one sounds like, yes, it is. Like, you're messing with children, you're messing with their minds, and those people that are doing it should be locked up.
And they misrepresented everything. It was all
you're easily influence these kids, and you're doing this, and you're telling me it's not grooming. Like, it is.
Yes.
So, like, you can fight me too. That's fine. You can disagree. Like, I don't care. It is what it is. Like, and that's all this is. This is all this is, because what is when you think of Disneyland, what do you think of who goes there?
Families.
And kids. Who do families take?
Their kids.
Kids. So if you come out and say, well, Mickey's non-binary and Minnie's non-binary.
Well, then it raises a whole bunch of questions, doesn't it? It's like, well, what the hell does that even mean?
Kids, I mean, male and female, I mean, that is just.
We've gone so far away from.
But if you know what I'm trying to say, if you say, like, well, yeah, Mickey's a boy and Minnie's a girl, everybody, even kids know that.
Kids,
so when you go there and you say, well, hi, kids, and or if you say Goofy's non-binary and Max is non-binary, or if you say Goofy's a male and Max is a male, they know that Max is Goofy's son. Well, how can Goofy be a female and Max be a male? Or I'm sorry, how can Max be a male and or you know what I mean? Like, how can Goofy be a female?
It confused. This is the sort of crap. It confuses adults, for God's sakes, and you're expecting this to. You're messing with people.
Or if they're like, well, Max never had a mom, so Goofy was the dad, and Goofy had Max. What? Like, it's dangerous water, right?
Scary.
And the kids are probably going to believe it because they love Mickey and Minnie.
Well, and it depends on also who's the one teaching them, and especially when you put some people in places of certain authority.
Well, my goodness, when you're having book readings at a local library with drag queens, and or if you have drag, that photo that I was telling you, like I showed you, where the guy had the microphone in place of his.
Yep.
Is Johnson. Mm-hmm. Like this is where we're at. And it's so sad for these kids because it's like you're confusing them.
Oh, and beyond belief. Yeah.
And that is just appalling.
No, I agree with you 100%, man.
It's just Disney, man, and it really
needs an enema because it needs to flush out all the garbage in that.
Well, I think we've come to a point in time in this country. I don't know if there's a point of no return. I don't know if we've hit the point of no return. Like, this is like we're living in an age where it's like a male can believe that they can turn into a female, and a female can believe that they can turn into a male, and you can't. Like, you can have surgeries, but look at any women's sports where those quote unquote women have entered, and what happens. Whether you believe in God or not, whatever your religious belief is, like, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter, because like you made male and female. That's it. And nobody would like, no doctor that's worth his salt would argue that.
Right.
Like, again, there's males who have their thing chopped off, and like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking when you come, like, and there's also like there's research out there that's like, things happen, but it's always been male, it's always been female. There might be anomalies with like genetics and that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about
right.
Like,
but those are
far
infrequent and rare and stuff like that.
There's it's male and female. That's it.
Hate to break it to you, folks.
Like
actually, no, I enjoy it. It's fun.
I know there's somebody, there's this gif of like when Trump won the election in, I think, 2016. There's this lady of the girl with red hair with the glasses, the really thick glasses, and she's screaming and losing her mind. And I think of that when we talk about this stuff, because I know there's people out there that just think that we're just bigots and racist and whatnot, but
yada yada yada.
It's your fault you came on the show and listened to us, so that's on you. Like, I'm not going to bend the knee to anybody. There's one I've been to, and that's it. And this is grooming. This is and it's the culture, man. Like, they're going with the culture, and they have to. Again, it comes down to they either truly believe this or they want to be relevant.
Right.
I've not met Bob Iger, but I find it very, very ironic that he leaves. If he actually left, kind of like Kennedy, he left, Chepik took over, and then he comes back, and all this stuff is, coming in full force. He may not have anything to do with these riders doing whatever, but it's like, it's just, and he may not have anything to do with Wikipedia. I don't know. Maybe he has the CEO of Wikipedia on speed dial. Maybe he's calling and be like, hey, like, you need to do this. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe Wikipedia is taking it on their own to be like, no, we've got to do it. We got to be inclusive. Like, male can be female.
If there's any marching orders, is more coming from.
But here's the other interesting thing:
above the state level,
we're in such a generation of like attachment to your phone. Like, your phone is now a third appendage or fourth appendage, right? Basically. So it's like, and these kids today know more about technology than you and I. Right. And they're always on their phone, and they're always going to websites. So that's another thing. If you go to
when I go to the store, I see kids in shopping carts glued to a phone.
Yeah. So it's like you're going to fandom.
And that's why I have this clip. Hang on. This is why I have this clip.
Don't you understand, Steven? Somebody has to kill the babysitter.
Yeah.
And think about it. That's coming from a guy that was basically raised on TV, and that's how a lot of it was first seen. Is even in the movie, she's like, okay, have fun with the babysitter. I mean that, and we've just now replaced the TV, the quote unquote idiot box, the boob tube. We've now replaced it with cell phones and everything, with kids just glued to the cell phone screens or tablet screens, just staring 100% at those things. And it's like, you don't see parents rarely actually looking after their own kids anymore. It's just called, okay, here, you're distracted with this now. Now I don't have to worry about it. Now I don't have to quote unquote worry about you. You're well taken care of by the mini idiot box.
Yeah. But to my point, and like I said, like fandom, I don't know if Wikipedia owns fandom or if fandom owns, I don't know, one of the two, but like you can go to fandom and you can search any character that you want within DC, Marvel, whatever. Well, I don't know if Marvel, but you can search any character within, I think you can like preset it to whatever you want. But like the point I'm trying to make is you can go and you can search something and pull up their pronouns.
Right.
And then kids are like, well, that's weird. He's a male, but why does it say she and her? Right. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly.
It's like, or what? She's a mommy, but she says there's a he. Was that a typo? Did they meant to put she and they put he? Like this, like,
it's just a mad world now. It's, and I've talked about this with my brother, and I've brought up that question. Like you were kind of bringing it up, is where's the boiling point? Where's the point when people start saying no? And like it was like he and I talked about, is that there probably won't be. We probably won't see it. Because like it always ends up happening that we see recently, is that if there is anybody that ends up standing up against this and potentially having aggressive negotiations, as it were, as Anakin put it, they'll get thrown under the bus by their own quote unquote side, or they are immediately called feds. That they're bad actors or whatever the terms you want to use, but otherwise anybody that stands up is immediately seen as, oh well, no, we can't actually touch that. You're going a little too far, okay? Yeah. Well, when I'm sorry, the other side isn't apologizing for their quote unquote bad actors or whatever. No. So why? And that's the problem. When your own side is basically throwing you under the bus, it's called, okay, so why the hell should I do anything? I'm not going to get any support. What's the point? Yeah. So this is kind of for some of us, this is kind of called, all right, well, we'll see as what'll happen when the shit really hits the fan. We'll see what happens, what comes of it all, because it's gonna have to basically get to that point before. I think
if if Lucas actually releases that Skeleton Crew show, I think that will bring it closer to a boiling point, because that was supposed to be based off the whole. It was with Jude Law and what was it? I can't remember. I have to look it up, but we talked about it on one of the shows.
We did.
But
we've discussed that show a few times.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. Maybe we will, and Disney will actually continue to have to fire 7,000 people.
Well, that is a whole other kind of goofy matter, because, I mean, like it is, the whole 7,000 is probably going to, if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be like the people in the parks or people on basically the bottom barrel of the totem pole,
Yeah.
It's not going to be people that matter, people that you want to see gone. They're not leaving anytime. Yeah, Kennedy. She ain't leaving anytime soon, folks, unless it's of her own volition. And
she won't. Even after Indiana 5 comes out, she won't leave.
Hey,
Why would she? Why would she? She's got a cake. She's not gonna give that up.
Right? Why would she go anywhere? Why would anybody go anywhere? Man, if I had her gig, I'd just keep riding that crap for as long as I freaking could.
Yeah. Make Filoni and Dave do all the heavy lifting, which again, they're not really lifting anything heavy and they're not pulling any weight really. Yeah. But, people still consume. It's like, just consume product and get ready for more
excited
product.
For new product. Yep.
There's something I want to go over, but is there anything? It's something fun I just found. I think it'd be a good ending to the show. But is there anything?
That
Pedro Pascal. I saw that whole thing.
Well, I was gonna kind of go off the rails a little bit, a little away from
Sarlacc brain of the week. What?
No, I've been thinking about that. I've got ideas, but we'll have to figure that out at some point. No, I don't know if you've heard, but they've had the whole Hogwarts Legacy game that's coming.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
So, of course, it has been met with a lot of positive buzz. So, for example, on the Hogwarts Legacy official account, they are touting how is officially the number one single player game ever on Twitch with 1.28 million peak concurrent viewers at launch. This was pre-launch too, so they had like an early release. They had the early release for those that pre-ordered. Clearly,
what's all the hype on it?
Okay, so
because I've heard a lot of
So for one, it's the fact that it's Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter game. It's a third-person RPG. You get to create your own character and stuff like that. So and no matter what, like it was, this was going to be a game that was going to sell ridiculously high because people probably within our generation, the millennials, and even a little bit after us, grew up with Harry Potter around. Like I know for me, it didn't really start hitting until about high school ish for when it started coming out for the first movies and stuff like that. So for me, I was like, yeah, okay. I read one of the books at the time. I only went through the third book because by that time the other two movies had come out. I read the third book, dug it. That was cool. Enjoyed it, whatnot. But that's been the whole thing. It's like, okay, one way or another, you knew this game was going to be big. But because of J.K. Rowling and her position on merely just making the case on having I don't know if I want to say segregated, but separate spaces for women, biological women, and men LARPing as women. I don't think it's a big thing to ask for, especially for them wanting their own sports divisions and stuff like that. But because of that, even though that she herself would say to trans people, I would gladly march with you. I believe you have your rights and yada, yada, yada. She just believes that, there should be some separation in terms of like sports and certain safe, quote unquote, safe spaces and stuff like that for biological women versus fake women.
Wait, she's for it or against it? She thinks there should be separated.
She thinks there should be. She thinks there should be separated spaces, but she is full well, like you be you, basically. So, but because of her stance on things, it of course got the ire, and with this game, it did spark a bunch of controversies. Like it is on Founding in Comics, they've been covering plenty of it. Anti-J.K. Rowling activists create lists to catalog Twitch players who stream Hogwarts Legacy gets shut down after less than 24 hours. I thought that was funny. If you're familiar with Candace Owens and one of her former projects, very similar things going on here. But a lot of ridiculous, I hate to say harassment, but that's, I guess, effectively what's been going on for any Twitch streamers that were, just trying to play a freaking game that they wanted to play. They've been lectured, they've been condescended to. There's been basically these transgender activists and stuff like that trying to boycott the game. And like it has not been very successful. The game is still blown up, still been very much in the light.
Why are the trans activists trying to ban this game? Or
because of J.K. Rowling and her positions. They call her a TERF, which is a trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Because she's against
that's not even
transgender.
No, that's the thing that gets, because these are people that are
radical,
for lack of a better word, mentally ill.
Yeah.
Well, not lack of it's accurate. It is what it is. You're not sorry. You're mentally ill. Seek real help.
Yeah.
Seek real help. But no, it's been the narrative that she is against trans people and hates them, even though all she's been touting for is just, and in terms of a space for women, biological women, and not allowing men.
Yeah, I mean,
to invade it. Kind of like how, as of late, they've been having to do the whole thing of, or there's been the whole thing of men suddenly transitioning as they are going into prison, so then they can go to a women's prison.
Yeah.
She's all that's like, it's like the most irrational thing of, yeah, you don't want that.
No.
But I mean, hey, I'm apparently a radical.
Yeah.
And apparently so is JK, even though she's all for all this woke nonsense.
BS.
So it's been a whole big thing of a lot of weird kind of hate marketing and stuff like that almost. And like I said just a few moments ago, this game was going to do well regardless, because not everyone's paying attention to all the controversy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No regular person is aware of all these weirdos on Twitter, because like it said, Twitter is not real life, folks. It's just a space for people to basically shit post and
it's a
maybe
war
get
zone.
It's a war zone. Maybe to get a few things out here or there, but that's it. For me in particular, I had taken a look at the game. I thought it could be fun. It looked like it might be interesting. I have at least gotten one person at least catching some things from this game, and even the way my brother put it, this is a game developed by social justice warriors for social justice warriors to a degree. And I thought it was kind of funny when I started seeing some comments here from on Twitter. The hijabi gamer, she's been posting a few things. Bringing it up. Like she says here, am I the only one who has noticed that none of the female characters in Hogwarts Legacy is feminine? And I chimed in, doesn't surprise me. Most Western games can't have beautiful female characters anymore, unless you catch the ire of the collective. Why there's so many? That's why there's so many man-jawed, flat-chested adult women in video games. Like she said, none of the female characters have breasts, and so many are wearing pants in 1890. And like I said, well, gotta make a minority population feel quote unquote comfortable. So eliminate femininity. And I wonder if there's any modders that will be able to correct that. So that's been one part. And then also she points out, let me get the other one. Again, I doubt for the time. Hang on, where is it? I doubt for this time period this would be brought up. So it's 1890 and there's an openly lesbian woman? That makes no sense. she would not be telling some random kid about her quote unquote wife. So despite and like it was to the like I don't know if you saw, there was basically not basically it is a this here. Oops, sorry. The Hogwarts Legacy reveals transgender character activist still not happy. This this character here. Oh, here it is. Let me make sure I got the audio. Okay, audio's. And let me know if you can hear this. Oh. All right.
It's a treat to see you, Lord Gok. I shall let you know if I hear anything.
Thank you, Serona.
You be well.
Are you able to hear that?
Yeah.
It sounds like Robin Williams doing a female voice.
Almost, yeah.
It's my first time here. Welcome. Butterbeer's on me.
So even with all of this, you have, of course, all the weirdos screeching up a storm. And to a degree that basically helped it. Because then you had a load of people that were going, oh, well, I'm going to buy 5-10 copies just to piss you off. And for the most part, it might have, even though there's plenty of content that was basically geared towards them. And I think I have an idea why. And it was certainly a big reason why I, on the other hand, was like, I'll wait to see if when the game hits the seas.
I probably won't play it.
And it's this, because like it is, these people already got their blood sacrifice. They got what they wanted, but like it is, anytime you capitulate, your blood's in the water. They're coming for you. And here's Hogwarts Legacy lead designer Troy Levitt announces resignation from development team. They say resignation, but this is the thing. Anybody that's been around long enough certainly knows it probably wasn't a willful resignation. It was forced. Because Troy Levitt, the Hogwarts Legacy lead designer who recently came under fire from the mainstream gaming press, see, again, the mainstream gaming press, they came down heavy. And this was from March 6th, 2021. So 2 years ago for the release. Having previously hosted an anti-social justice YouTube channel, has announced his resignation from title's development team. That right there was enough. I quote, I have made the decision to part ways with Avalanche Software. Levitt informed his Twitter followers on March 4th. I have nothing but good things to say about the game, the dev team, and WB Games. Blood went into the water. And this is what basically helped fuel a lot of what's come up recently. He added that he would be releasing a YouTube video about this soon on his channel, but as of writing, said video has yet to be published. And so, I mean, this is basically this more explaining this because for example, Brian Sinclair of GameIndustry.biz took issue with Levitt's pro-Gamergate, anti-feminist positions, and despite admitting that now former lead designer was one relatively unknown lead on a AAA game, praised how the prospect of mob justice of cancel culture is preferable to no justice at all. Again, they got their sacrifice out of all this. And this was certainly, all because, again, and this is again where people get thrown under the bus, either from their own side or whatever. This sort of stuff happens, and it's called, okay, so then why bother? But this is what also kind of annoys me with like even Tim on with people quote unquote on our side. Even this shit gets memory hold so goddamn fast. Nobody remembers anything. It's basic. Oh, dang it. That's a clip I need to have. If I can find it really quick. And it's very true. That basically people have the attention span that can be basically registered in nanoseconds. Here we go. Hang on. For anybody that's seen the movie Basketball, I feel this is very true because it's really ridiculous how people quickly forget about what goes on in certain spaces.
Kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima hula hoops and Pac-Man video games. Don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
And that's what gets me. And you know what? I don't hold it against people that were like that were gonna get the game regardless, because there were gonna be those people that were gonna get the game regardless because they're fans of Harry Potter and they had no idea of this bullshit going on. But you have the people that are quote unquote on this side of things that are out there forgetting about instances like what happened to this developer who, I'm sorry, was clearly ousted because of having alternative points of view. We have people that are still saying, oh, I'll buy the game. I'll buy multiple copies of the game. Buy multiple copies of the game and hand it out to people. Do you not remember the company did not change? You are giving money, yes, not only to J.K. Rowling. You can think how she is, whatever, but you know she's still gonna hate your ass because she's still on the far left side of it. But also then the game company that ousted the guy for just having his points of view.
Yeah.
So one way or another, you're funding, you know, people that hate you. Why? It's what always gets me when I'm just sometimes bringing up things to random people and they get that look of, huh? And then suddenly, oh, I do think I remember that. And I'm like, you know, these are, especially for if you are somebody that enjoys the hobby and everything like that, certain important things need to stay in your in that collective memory, in that memory of yours, so you aren't making the kind of decisions that, you know, just basically continue to help fund this. And I will say, I guess I should have been I could have done my own due diligence and been vigilant of reposting that article and stuff like that. Sad thing is, like, how often are they going to pay real attention to it, you know?
Right.
But that's something I feel like has been overlooked with all this hype around and all this talk around Hogwarts Legacy, is that it is overshadowed of what happened to that one guy, Troy Levitt. And is this called, oh, we got to buy the game to piss off the SJWs. Mother freakers, they already got their damn blood sacrifice out of the whole thing. So that's certainly why I've been like, no, I'm not going to get the game. I'll take a free copy.
Right.
Like, if one of you jackasses are saying, yeah, I'll hand out free copies. All right, I'll take one of the free copies. I don't care. I'm not paying for it. It's not getting my money. It's getting your dumbass money.
Yeah.
Oh, my conscience is clear. So yeah, that's that I kind of wanted to dive into myself. So, because like I said, I feel like it's been something that's been greatly overlooked and doesn't get mentioned whatsoever by the people that are, you know, quote unquote on this side.
Well, I have something we can go over.
Sure.
Let's Get it up here. So
what do we got here?
There's a tweet. I should probably have you do it because you're better, but it was like, yeah, I'll let you do it.
All right, I'm getting
it. It was the top favorite games. I don't know why I don't know how to share it and not have show everything in Discord.
Well, when you go to present and you do share screen, you should have some options of either entire screen, window, or the tab of whatever browser you're using.
It's an entire window. What should I do?
You can do window, or like I said, there should be like entire screen, window, or tab of whatever.
Yeah,
whatever. So Microsoft, yeah. So you'd use tab and then find the one that you were on, and then click on that and share that screen.
I'll let you do it.
Okay.
I'll play with it. But yeah, it was just the favorite from the Legendary Collection of games. I thought it would be fun.
Yeah. What's your favorite from this Legendary Collection of games? Ooh.
It's hard. It's hard.
So what we got here is Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast, Republic Commando, Lego Star Wars the video game, Star Wars Starfighter, Jedi Starfighter, Star Wars Racer Revenge. I never played that one. I played the original Pod Racer. Star Wars The Clone Wars. Never played that one either. Bounty Hunter, Obi-Wan. Never played that one because that was on the Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Played part of that. I need to beat it. But fun. It was pretty good.
Alternate ending. Spoiler alert.
Alternate ending's great. And then Star Wars Force Commando. Brilliant game. I wish they'd used the ground force of this game for it was Empire at War. Empire at War, if they had married their space combat from that game with the ground combat of Force Commander, would have been awesome. But sadly, they didn't. So, but favorite from this collection. I mean, do I have to pick one or?
Well, I said your favorite. I don't know if you can pick.
I mean, if I would, Battlefront 2 would be a favorite.
You like 2 more than 1?
Yes, because they added a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let's do this.
I would
pick a favorite out of all the. I think maybe
the rows,
maybe, or just top like 5. Because to your point, I think it's hard to do.
So I would probably. I kind of see Jedi Academy as an expansion to Jedi Outcast, so I kind of include them as one personally. But I mean, if I have to choose one,
I killed Kyle Katarn, or I thought I killed him.
You went dark side.
Oh, 1000 Republican mode. It's hard. Well, you go first. Yeah, however you want to do. If you want to do one from each line, or do top 5, if you could even do top 5.
I mean, if we're doing top 5, then I'd probably say like 1 and 2 is probably gonna be Knights of the Republic 1 and 2. They kind of share. They kind of share. They kind of share the 1 and 2 spot. Like I can't put one over.
Well, who's you got to? Is it going to be 1 or 2?
I'd probably put 1 as Knights of the Republic 1 in the 1 spot, only because that is completed game for the most part.
Yeah.
Knights of the Republic 2 will go into the 2 spot because, well, unfortunately, the dev team didn't get the full time to work on it. It was originally a bit incomplete.
I heard iOS released the full game.
The thing is, they've recently had the patch and stuff that comes with the game that is basically adding on a lot of the stuff that was cut content.
Yeah.
So now it is, but for the time, I mean, I still enjoyed the hell out of it, but in that instance, you kind of have to you kind of cut it down a bit.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like it was a great sequel. It was a great follow up to the first one. But then, oh god, I would probably say Jedi Outcast would be Jedi Outcast would be number 3. Republic Commando would be number 4.
Force Command, is that going to be in the 5th?
And then Bounty Hunter at number 5.
Bounty, really?
Because, like I said, I count Jedi Academy as more of an expansion to Jedi Outcast. So it's not like it's a great game. I love it. I thought I have it reinstalled and everything. I just don't see it as like a full game.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's more
Jedi
like
Academy. You mean?
Yeah, Jedi Academy. It is more like a continuation and kind of fleshing out more of the Academy life now for that game. So
yeah.
So yeah, well, I think that's where I'll go with that.
I'm gonna have a hard time because minus episode 3, I didn't have a PlayStation, so I don't think I was able to play some of the Clone Wars. But yeah, it's hard. That's hard because I'll say that. So Battlefront, my favorite part about Battlefront was the hero battles.
Yeah, the hero battles were a lot of fun.
That was it, and so, but oh man, for me, I go KOTOR number 1, Outcast 2.
Oh, okay.
Man, because episode 3 was good. Republic 3, episode 3, 4. KOTOR 2 was good, but my problem with KOTOR is again, like I don't think it was finished. There was a lot. I had a lot of issues with it.
There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of cut content that's now been released for it, but at the time, you kind of tell there was some stuff missing.
I have to base this off of at the time that I played the game. Like if I was to play KOTOR now, maybe 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
So at the time, not KOTOR 1, Jedi Outcast, Republic Commando, Revenge of the Sith, episode 3. But now that you bring up the fact that Academy is just an add-on of Outcast, like I see it. So I really enjoyed Academy from the perspective of it's right off the bat you get to use your lightsaber.
You get to use your lightsaber, you get to create your own character and stuff like that. Essentially, I mean, you're Jaden, but
I think
you get to create how Jaden looks. That's kind of a bonus for it, for sure.
I think I would go. You know what game is not on here, and I'm glad that it's not. Is Rogue Squadron or Rogue
the Rogue Squadron games and stuff. Yeah.
But I think I did play Starfighter. I didn't have a PlayStation.
I played Jedi Starfighter. I don't know about Starfighter itself, but I know I played Jedi Starfighter.
I think I played Jedi Starfighter. I would go Starfighter probably number 5. Because I don't think I played Obi-Wan. I don't know if I played Obi-Wan.
I know I didn't because I didn't have an Xbox at the time.
I'm trying to.
Now I want to try and look up an emulator and stuff.
I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to. I'm reminiscing of a bygone era when I played Xbox One. A lot of great games on here, man. I mean, Lego Star Wars. I think that was the Lego Star Wars that didn't have any of the actual ridiculous sequels.
Yeah, this is pre all the sequels.
The Pod Racer, I did play Pod Racer. It was good.
I played the original Pod Racer. This was a different one. So I don't know what Pod Racer, the Racer Revenge is all about.
The reason why I left Battlefront out is because it would take you 2 hours to load into a game.
Oh, a multiplayer game?
Yeah, it would take you like 5-10 minutes to load in.
I don't include it because of that aspect, and while I did enjoy the little campaign it had, it's just not quite enough. And it has replay value.
It's like going to Texas. It's like going to Red Lobster and they only give you 5 biscuit rolls. and you want more, but they cut you off. That's like just a little teaser that they give you before the meal. I'm very curious about Force Command. I've never played that.
Force Commander is a real-time strategy game that was only released on PC. And
Hold on, how many years ago was this released? Maybe I did play it with my uncle.
Oh, good question.
There was a Star Wars game that I played. It was only for it was only for computer, and I used it was. Was there any X-wings in that game? You could play as an X-wing or in a
play as you'd have them as I believe you could have them as.
There was a game that I played growing up with my uncle who got me into, like I said, Star Wars, and I played it. He had a one of those, what do you call them? The sticks. The
flight sticks.
Yes, one of those, and it was only for PC. And this was years ago. It was when I was a kid. It was on old
Force Commander came out March 17th, 2000.
No, this was a computer game back in probably the 90s.
So this was how it looked. Like I said, a real-time strategy game. So you had enemy units and stuff like that, your own friendly units that you'd create basically.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Otherwise, no, it was. I mean, if it was like a game with a flight stick, it would have been either like, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, or just like Star Wars X-Wing series, I think.
Yeah. It was an old one. He had
X-Wing Alliance.
One of those. I have to ask him because I remember he had a old Ford truck, and I'd play on his laptop at home. Well, you played it. You can't really play it in the car, but But he had a joystick at his house. I was in an X-Wing, and
so it's probably X-Wing Alliance, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So
because there was X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing TIE Fighter, and or Star Wars TIE Fighter, and then Star Wars X-Wing versus TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
So it was probably
I thought this would be a fun way to end.
Absolutely, a good positive way to go out with it.
I still have Battlefront 2 downloaded, but it's so hard to kill when you're playing like heroes. Like I feel like these are like the we call ourselves true Star Wars fans. Like these are the guys that are like in their basement, like wanting to be Jedis in the real world. They train on this game because I last all like 3 seconds, and like I get beat by Leia by a blaster bolt in between the eyes. It is kind of cool though. Like you're able to mod a lot of stuff. I've been watching videos, like videos pop on YouTube about people like modding the characters. Like I've not yet to see a Kyle Katarn, but there's like a Dooku before he was a Sith, and Revan, and a bunch of different mods. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you get these characters because I don't know how you mod a game. Maybe it's PC, not on Xbox, but I think it's modding is what it's called, or how you get different skins.
Yeah, putting in mods and stuff like that.
But so
yeah,
that's all I got.
Well, cool beans. I mean, I thought of there's been so much other different stuff that we could have gone over, but
it just gives us more stuff we can go over
at another time. Yeah, you certainly filled it in with plenty with talk as we talked about Bad Batch and everything. So I hope everyone enjoyed. I was glad that we got us over on Rumble. We've been streaming over there. The viewers have been in. They've been kind of just lurking and hanging out, but all is well. For some reason, Odyssey got goofed. I don't know what I did wrong with that, so I kind of killed it and I switched it over to Twitch really quick. So we've been streaming over there as well. But otherwise, I was just very happy I got the Rumble up and going without difficulty. That was good. I was proud of myself. Yeah, and of course we've been going on the YouTube end as well. So that's been great. Thanks to anybody that stopped in. So Shenanigans tomorrow? Yay!
I mean, I'm down. I have to see what the fam's doing for the Super Bowl, but I mean, I'm down.
Oh, right, Super Bowl Sunday.
If I do, you may hear screaming in the background. May go over, hang out with the fam. But yeah, I'm down. Are you guys doing anything?
Yeah, I'll be down.
Okay, we'll do like Yeah.
Just let me know what's going on and whether or not we will be doing.
Now
it
that I
or
got
not.
now that I got my Rancor, dude, I gotta get my ride.
Gotta represent.
Represent the Rancor crew.
So
But
yeah,
I'll
okay.
we'll
So
let
check us
everybody
out
know.
tomorrow.
It should be
over on our Twitch channels, and I'll be streaming on YouTube as well.
We'll say a go as of now, unless something else happens. But
yeah, unless something else happens, and keep an eye on our Twitters and stuff like that. That's where we'll be announcing that we're going live or not or whatever.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm still been doing some streams of Final Fantasy VII. I did last week for a first time Rumble stream. I
saw
playing,
that.
Yeah, I was playing the updated version of the System Shock 1 remake. Looking really good. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for them to finally finish the freaking game. But that was a lot of fun. Got that rolling. Got the first start. Pop that cherry, so to speak. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you want to see it, it's over on the Fractured Filter channel over on Rumble. So check it out if you get the opportunity. I'll be trying to think of other stuff to stream on there. One of these days, when my brother's feeling up to it, we'll also have to get back to our Divinity Original Sin 2 game. So yeah, keep an eye out for all those goodies.
Yeah,
and
good stuff.
With that,
play us out.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter